What up, dude?
Hi.
Oh, that was weird. It was very breathy, very breathy, and I know all of our listeners are uncomfortable right now
I was
because
holding
of
my
that.
breath, waiting on something just magical to come out of your voice.
Hmm. Well, you're welcome. You're welcome.
I didn't receive what I was hoping for though.
So you decided to make it awkward, like, hey.
Yeah.
Hmm. All right. What up, dude? What are we talking about?
We're talking about magical words.
Magical words, because
Magical
words have meaning. Because
words.
words have meaning.
Words have meaning. I tell my son that all the time. I'm like, dude, you're saying some words that have a lot of meaning. They're powerful. Be careful what you say, because he's learning all these like mean words and in school that like poopy head
Poopy
and
head is
and like you know like that. I mean,
poopy
he's starting
head.
to learn bad words too, which I'm like,
Yeah.
oh man, let's have a sit down.
Yeah. Yeah. It's well, and I think we're gonna talk about some things that were impactful to us through the Connect Man Mastermind and some things that dude said. And what really made me think about this, for me, this topic, it reminds me of reading books, right? And as you read books, uh a lot of people read books to get through the book and then to put in their checklist of books I've read this year. And other people study books and try to take actionable items from it. Well, I feel the same way about conversations. When you have a very driven, intentional conversation, like you should try to aim for the actionable items and the things that are important and potentially change your life and lean into that stuff, right? Not just talk and just to hear yourself talk or hear others talk or whatever. So recently for me, I'm in a group with so within the master, I've talked about this before, but within the Kinetic Man, I'm in another group and you're not invited to it. It's called the Kinetic Man Fasting Group. And no, you're invited.
I choose
You just choose to
choose not to.
not grow spiritually or to deny your flesh. But besides that, not important. It's interesting because I committed to, and normally I don't talk about the fast, but this was important to me because of the action, right? But I committed to a 60-hour fast. So basically started after dinner on Tuesday, and then I'll eat again tomorrow. Today's Wednesday, so I'm through like 30 hours of it, and tomorrow morning we'll break the fast. So like a 2-day fast, or 2 full days plus a little change. But the as this group, one of the guys in it said, fasting is a reminder to the flesh that it is not in control. And I was like, man, I love that because we're all talking about our in the group. We're like, man, today's rough. Like I'm having hunger pain. Like I'm this, that, the other. We just use it as an internal group to just kind of reflect and talk about our experience and also pray for each other and all that good stuff. But those words, when he put them down, I was like, oh man, that gave me an additional context and a motivation to, like, for me, that may mean nothing to somebody else, but for me, it was super powerful because like I literally have been reciting that as I've been potentially tempted to, whatever, end before my commitment or whatever it is that I'm tempted to do that's not in alignment with what I want to do. And I just keep going back to that, right? Like, okay, what am I doing? I'm fasting. Why am I fasting? Well, my fasting is a reminder to my flesh that it is not in control of me. My spirit, my mind, the person I want to be, the man I want to be, the desires that I have for those aspects of my life, flesh can't ruin that. But he gave me those words, and it was powerful because I've used them to, well, in this situation, to not action, like to not do something that I'll regret, right? Like I've used his words to avoid actions that will take me away from what I'm trying to achieve with this goal. And so I just thought it was, but that was some other dude just said that. Like I would not have necessarily come up with that on my own. Well, I haven't. I've been cleansing and fasting for years at this point, and I've never had that like powerful statement to just recite back, right? And so I just thought it was awesome that this group continues to feed me so abundantly, and that's the power of surrounding yourself with uh like-minded individuals who will help you in your growth journey. Because even the Kinetic Man, like I'm looking at our chats right now on WhatsApp, there's like 5 or 6 different Kinetic Man groups. there's a Kinetic Man group, then there's a fasting group, then there's a prayer group, then there's a TCAM Colorado group and the coaches group. Like there's all these groups.
Yeah.
And so it even further in a group like ours, it even further refines for those who are even more like-minded in certain aspects to dive in and dig in. And when you surround yourself with those folks, man, like you can achieve anything. I fully believe you can achieve anything.
Yeah, dude. I mean, we talked about this on the Real Talk podcast, but eyes in the boat. Like we were on a ski lift at Keystone with Matt Heron, the three of us, and we were talking about just the simple saying of eyes in the boat and like how that relates to so many different things. And dude, like I say that to myself all the time now, right? And you've mentioned it, eyes on the boat in the gym, eyes on the boat, like whatever we're doing, whatever like business task we're doing, eyes on the boat, at family time dinner, like put the phone away, right? Eyes on the boat. Like I say that all the time now in my head, right? And it's just a simple saying, and it came from our Navy days. And Matt was in the Coast Guard, and they supposedly, I guess, used it in the Coast Guard too. But just a simple saying like that, like brought back to life, could be really impactful and powerful. Um, Another one that, again, this was just in deep, meaningful conversation. I have it underlined, starred, written down from a good friend of ours, James Gray. He's an OG in our mastermind, and he said, again, this was just in. It was a random comment to a conversation we were having. He said, "The goal isn't perfection; it is perfecting." And I think that's really powerful. And I remind myself of that all the time. It's not perfection, it's just perfecting. We're always just growing to get better every single day, creating daily habits, getting 1% better, perfecting, formation. We're forming ourselves into the type of person that we want to come. And I tell myself that all the time. And just that simple quote from James, like in the back of my brain, just has me going, right? Has me pushing forward to just not, it's not perfection, it's perfecting. And so it's just simple stuff like that is really powerful. Words are really powerful. I was listening to I think it was an Alex Hormozy podcast, and they're just talking about like individuals who are just like, you surround yourself with people who just like are wise, like they're like just really wise people, and it's because they surround themselves with other people that are wise, but like they just infiltrate their brain with like just good stuff all the time, right? Like I can't, like there's so many things that I receive from our podcast, when we have guests on, like you said, from books, from conversations. Not all of it sticks, but like there are things that come back and they're in the back of your brain and they come up when a situation arises. And the more you do that, the more you read, the more you listen to podcasts, the more you surround yourself with people that are wiser than you and that say really great stuff. Like it makes you a wiser person. It makes you a better person. And so that's that's motivating to me to just
And
continue
the
to,
opposite is true too, right? Like the more people you
yeah,
surround yourself with that are knuckleheads will get you in these just these repetitive cycles of negativity or just ignorance, and a lot of folks are living in that right now. I mean, you see it. We're in the,
totally.
we just had Super Tuesday. We're in the election cycle, and just the amount of like just rubbish that is just thrown around from everybody on all sides and all angles is silly, and to think that that won't drag you down is ignorant. And I mean, I would encourage everybody to look at the differences between, it's an article that was written, the differences between, so TikTok is a Chinese company. I can't remember what it's called in China, but just look at it. Just Google the difference between TikTok in China and the United States. And what it is, excuse me, what it is it's so fascinating that it's not just a bunch of dumb dancing and people doing challenges. Like I had a coach that said, you play stupid games, you get stupid prizes, right? And like that's what TikTok is, dude. Like you're playing stupid games, you're getting stupid prizes, like ending up in the hospital doing whatever. But it's just fascinating to see the content that is allowed in China on the same platform, different name, and what is being effectively pushed and encouraged on our version. And if you look at it from a long term perspective, and this isn't me, this is part of the strategic whatever vision of of some of these studies, is like the goal is to make us dumber. Well, that's the power of those words. That's the power of how you feel yourself. That's the power of what you consume. It's the power of the things that will infiltrate, the fake news, all these things that in the election stuff that people talk about. It's not, we should get past the idea of all fake news and like politicizing those and actually analyze what you're taking in, right? Like, is it fake? Like, are you trying to be, is someone trying to entertain you? Are they trying to keep you stuck where you're at? Are they trying to keep you in front of a TV? Like, you should be open minded about these things, because just as righteous as it is to surround yourself with a bunch of dudes that want to like get better in everything in their life, like how many guys in our group, how many conversations have you had with dudes about their TikTok feed? I'm curious.
Zero.
Zero. Like, I've never thought of it until we're talking about it right now, but we don't talk about those things. We don't talk about the latest short on YouTube and like these things that suck life, right? I'm not judging those things. I'm just saying, if we're honest, these things detract from who we're meant to be. And so it's just fascinating to me. Like, we look at it one way and it seems really hard. Like, oh, I want to surround myself by these guys and become better. Like, that's really hard. But we don't think of it the same way as how hard it is to come back from like a 4 hour binge in YouTube loop. Like, that's pretty hard too. Like, all the things that come with that are hard. Life is hard if that's where you're going to spend it, right?
Yeah.
And so it's just a fascinating thing, man. I love that quote. James Gray has a bunch of them. Do you probably have like 10 quotes that we could highlight just from James Gray? But yeah, I would encourage everybody, just be so intentional in this area of your life. Be so intentional and like look at, I love the politics stuff going on because I like looking at it from a different lens. I don't like politics. It's so entertaining to me. Like, it's so entertaining to me how silly we can get. And it's just something that we should analyze. We should be intentional with the things we read, things we consume, the dudes we talk to, where we spend our time, and do something about it, right? Be better. Be better.
Yeah, dude. Love it. Words are powerful. Words are wisdom. Put
Words.
wise words into your brain.
Words matter. Words. Words. Peace.
Bye.